Hi guys, and welcome back to Garden of Kayland. Today I'm going to be picking the winner of last week's giveaway. Super excited! But I also want to talk to you guys about finding balance between rare plants and your wallet. I'm going to show you how you can have strikingly beautiful plants on a budget. The thing about rare plants is we like how they look, right? We love the unique growth patterns, leaf shape, fuzzy petioles, and even color variety. So if you're not looking to spend hundreds of dollars on a plant today, I'm going to show you how you can get that rare aesthetic without breaking the bank. Up first, we have the Monstera Peru. One of the things I enjoy about the plants I'm sharing with you today is not only are they budget friendly, but they're also really easy to care for. The leaves are large and quilted and have a variety of dark colors in them. It almost looks like prehistoric to me. I have this in a low light area of my home right now. I don't really fuss too much over, actually I don't fuss at all over the humidity, and I very rarely have to water it. Not so long ago, this plant was hard for me to find, and it wasn't really that cheap. It was like $80 for one cutting. But just a few months ago, I got a fairly decent sized pot for about $20. A downside I would say is that it grows a little bit on the slower side. Even when I had this plant in bright indirect light, it still was a fairly slow grower, and that was a little bit disappointing to me. The good thing about that though is that I purchased this plant at a fairly decent size, so I didn't have to wait very long having to root it or waiting for it to mature. Next up, we have the Anthurium superbum. Now let me know, are you like me and read that superbum? Because for quite some time I was referring to this thing as a superbum. Anyway, the Anthurium superbum is actually giving me Anthurium radicans vibes, although it grows upward kind of in a bird's nest type of direction. It still had those textured leaves that I look for. And you know what? If I turned it down like this, it could give you Anthurium veitchii vibes too. I really like that it came in this self-watering pot, and there's a small little window there. Can you see that? Where you can actually check for its growth. And this was actually $14.98. And that line, that black line, I don't know if it's focused, sorry if it's not, but that black line means it was 50% off. So I got this for $7, you guys. And it was this size when I got it, give or take a leaf or two. So the Anthurium superbum has been very easy to care for. Again, it could be because it's in this self-watering pot. And again, this is kind of a lower light area of the living room, and it's thriving here. I don't fuss at all over the humidity for this one either. Another plant that I find to be incredibly exotic looking, yet very easy to care for, is the ZZ plant. This one is actually the ZZ Chameleon. I just recently started seeing these in big box stores. I paid $19.98, so $20, 20 US dollars for it. And it came in a fairly decent sized pot, and it's pretty bushy as you can see already. So I like that. The soil that it came in was a little bit questionable, but I haven't changed it out yet. I just have so many other plant chores to do first. I mean, you can see why I love this so much. Just the bright colored leaves, the veining, the contrast between the two of those things. And like the other ZZ plants, the growth pattern is really what I think sets these off. I think that's what makes them sell so well and what makes them so popular. There's a yellow leaf, we don't need that. I don't have to water it often. I have it in a dark part of my house as well. It's actually kept here in the bottom of this greenhouse cabinet, and I don't have to do anything to it. And I like that it's so brightly colored, because when I put it at the bottom in this dark cabinet, it's almost like it glows in the dark. I think that is so cool. So yeah, the ZZ plant. I do have other ones, but I keep showing this one because I've recently become obsessed with it. But I do have the regular ZZ and the ZZ Raven as well. And the care and growth patterns are about the same for all of them. And now for the Pothos. A Pothos is always something that I recommend to beginners and new plant parents and somebody who doesn't have the time or mindset to consistently and continually care for a plant. And they come in so many different varieties. There's so many to pick from, and they're so easy. I have quite a few myself, and it's really hard to say which one of them is my favorite. I have them all over the house, but I've put them here just for a second for the sake of this video. So this one is the Global Green Pothos, and it has like some really cool, really subtle variegations on it, and depending on the lighting that I put them in, they can be very prominent and very bright, but this one is a little more subtle, as I do have it in sort of a dark corner in my bedroom. But I keep chopping and propagating this, and it just keeps growing back like crazy. So if you want a plant that's gonna trail down or you want it to climb up something, I think a Pothos is a really good choice for that, because it's really easy, again, to care for, but it's also a really rapid grower and doesn't require too much attention. And again, there's so much variety when it comes to a Pothos. Like this one is the Pearls and Jade. If you want something with a lot of personality, I think this is a good way to go. It is a little bit more compacted and the leaves are a little bit smaller. I think the Pearls and Jade is just so adorable. I love the white splashes all throughout the leaves, and it's really consistent. I mean, every leaf has a really decent amount of cream in it, and oh, love it, love it, love it. And I have here the Satin Pothos. A couple of you were with me actually when I purchased this and potted it up. I keep it on my coffee table, but it's a great centerpiece. I mean, love that. Look at that. Look at that. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have to keep propagating this before the summer is over, because this one grows pretty rapidly too. For a while, I thought that these were slow growers, and then I figured out, oh, it's because I have it in low light. Okay, well that makes sense now. But these leaves are more on the satiny side. Oh my gosh, I think it's so cute. I think they're so like, I think they're kind of like sexy a little bit. My son is looking at me like, ugh, I'm not allowed to say sexy. Okay. Mine aren't as mature as I've seen a lot of them, but you see these silver glittery speckles on here. Oh my gosh, you are getting such an exotic look for such a low cost. Pothos, a lot of them are very inexpensive. You can get them at a big box store. The ones that I'm showing you here, I actually got, all of them were under $20. One of them was even like $4.99. The Pearls and Jade was actually like $6. So, I'm sorry, $5. So, I mean, and it'll grow huge, and you can propagate it and make 10,000 other plants with it. How can you go wrong with that? So if you're new to houseplants and you want something with a more exotic look to it, get a Pothos. You have so many to pick from. Next up, we have the aglioonema. It's also referred to as a Chinese evergreen. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, it needs some water. But anyway, it came in this pot, the same pot that I have it in. Like, I still have the tag on it. And this was, look at this. $15. Can you see? Sorry, I hope it focuses. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but $15 for this. And this is pretty much the size that it came. Well, it was a little bit smaller than this, but I lost a few leaves and cut them off, and then they grew right back. Would you look at this? Sorry, I know it looks really thirsty, but would you just look at this? I'm keeping this in the nursery, and I don't really go in there to water plants as often as I should, as you can see here. But this one is standing up to my abuse, pretty much. And it's growing. It grows so fast. I got this during the heart of the winter, and it was still like shooting up new leaves. These things grow pretty rapidly, and they get nice and bushy. There are so many different varieties of the aglioonema. Some of them aren't as inexpensive, I must warn you, but if you're just looking for something with a lot of personality and flavor to it, you can get one very easily from a big box store or your local nursery, without any problems at all. Actually, I haven't had any pest problems with this ever. I've only had it for about 9 months though. I mean, knock on wood. It actually starts putting out pups. It started with 2 and now there are actually 4 in this pot. So that makes it even easier to propagate. I think they're super underrated. My next plant is a plant that is harder to not find than it is to find. It's harder for you to not find this plant when you're plant shopping, and that is the syngonium. Arrowhead-shaped leaves on the syngonium come in so many different varieties, and each one of them has its own very unique characteristics. There's a wide range of colors from white to pink to actually nearly black. I have a few myself that I'm constantly propagating. Every time I have to cut a leaf off, 2 more, it seems, grow in its place. They're versatile, so you can have them big and bushy. I have one in a pot just climbing up a moss pole. I have one hanging on my wall. I have one sitting on a shelf, and they're all in so many different conditions, and each one of them just continues to thrive. The leaves can get much bigger than they are when you purchase them, and I have never spent more than $20 on a syngonium, ever. And I have some really beautiful syngoniums, I really do. There are some out there that are more collector's items and more on the expensive end. I do not own them because I'll just wait for them to be mass produced. I find that the ease of propagation for them kind of makes me hesitant and not as enthusiastic to spend hundreds of dollars on one. I have so many of them now that I'm thinking about it. One of them is in my kids' bathroom, and I obviously don't go in there that much. And so when I did finally get to the syngonium in there, it was almost completely brown. I pulled off all the dead leaves, and there was like 2 or 3 actual leaves that were alive on it. And within a week or 2, it was back bushy. Like, I'm not kidding when I say syngoniums grow so fast. So you guys, what are some plants that you find to be incredibly unique and eye-catching but aren't big ticket items? Let me know so I can make sure I go get one too. Now let's announce the winner of last week's giveaway. So the way that I picked the winner is very old school. I put a bunch of numbers in a little container. I'm gonna shake it up, and whatever number I pick, I'm gonna then go through my comments, all 28 of them. And we're going to, you guys, whichever number we pick out, we're gonna go through, and whoever left that comment is the winner. Did I explain that? Okay. All right, let's shake it up. Okay. Okay. Get up, shake it up.
Shake it, shake it,
Okay,
shake it,
okay,
shake it.
okay. He's gonna like grab a handful full of them. All right, just so we're gonna make sure he picks just one. I'm a little nervous because he might pick a handful of them up and start trying to eat them or something, but we'll work it out. All right, come on, Knox. Pick your number. I'm not looking. Did he get one?
Yeah.
You got one. All right, let's see. Number 7. Wow. Number 7. All right, let's see who's number 7. Who is the 7th comment? Oh, okay. Donetta Daniels. Come on to the stage. Come on to the stage, girl. As you getting a Verrucosum today. Well, you're not getting it today because I got to mail it to you, but come on over. Congratulations. You guys, thank you so much for joining me on another video today. I know I'm really shiny and sweaty, and quite frankly, today has been very, very rough, but thank you guys nonetheless for joining me. It really means so much. You guys, my loyal subscribers, I appreciate you. I can't wait to do more giveaways to show you guys how much I appreciate you. I can't propagate stuff fast enough. I want to send you guys stuff every week. Okay, I really do. But honestly, you guys, thank you so much for supporting me, and this is something I've wanted to do for so long. So you guys' encouragement and support and enthusiasm is really going a long way for me. And I hope to see you in the next video. Toodles!